Thomas had spent most of the next day working on the main line with Gordon, Henry and James in helping them with the heavy express trains. Later that evening, he took some coal trucks to the docks and then some shunting before he went to take a group of workmen to the viaduct, which was in need of inspection. The little blue engine was now feeling tired and worn out. He then headed into a siding where he had to let James pass through with the express. Soon, Thomas was out of the siding and turned off the main line, heading back onto the branch line. But as he got closer to home, the fog came down, very thick and heavy. The driver and fireman found it very hard to see from the cab windows, or even by looking out. Then out of the blue, a much thicker layer of fog flooded in and totally blinded Thomas and his crew. With quick thinking, the driver slowed him down and brought him to a standstill.
We'll wait here until the fog clears.
Good idea. There's no way we're going to continue on in this.
Thomas agreed as well, but only after a few minutes, he and his crew could hear the sounds of another engine approaching. But the fog was just so thick that he couldn't tell whether it was coming from behind or in front of him. Then he heard its whistle. At first, Thomas felt very afraid and tensed, but he managed to put on a brave face as the sound got louder and louder. Thomas looked ahead of him, and there he was, the ghost of Timothy.
Timothy, you are real.
Hello, Thomas. We finally meet, face to face, as if we were destined to.
So the rumors and stories about you are true.
Ah, so you have heard of me. But you've forgotten, or perhaps chose to forget, that I was the one who led the way for you. You and your brothers and sisters. I was the first of our kind to become the best. But no, I wasn't. You soon came into being and took that place.
I was too young to even know you. Besides, we never spoke, nor were friends. So how can you say all that? All I know of you is that you kept lonely, but always smiled to everyone. But I guess you never liked that in the inside, were you? The last time I was told about you is that you went to Sodor, and that was it. You became nothing more but a forgotten memory. But Timothy, you do know that I'm the last of my surviving brothers and sisters. I still live because I'm important to people. I was special and had the pride of a tank engine. Something that you once had before. And before you came this evil and twisted freak of misery. A dark side of a near mirror image of my very self. I carry the memories of that fact that my own kind was most likely wiped out and I was the only one to survive. That scarred me for life. I lost everything. The feelings of love that made me and my brothers and sisters had for each other as a family. It was all destroyed. I've hidden all this away, but until now, with you doing all this haunting and terrifying the branch line, and now at last seeing you in person, has brought all of those memories back.
That's right. All the memories you wanted to forget. All the feelings you didn't want to accept. You have to remember me. Let's suffer together. Suffer with me.
No, I won't allow you to. My friends told me all about your past. You killed yourself for nothing, all for nothing, and you wasted yourself. The truth of your demise is just that, or was, the fact that you somehow grew tired of yourself and decided to end your life that way.
Shut up! Shut up! You don't know anything! You don't even know the real truth! That was not everything! That wasn't the end! Don't you think you know what happened? Just because you heard about my haunted past, Thomas! You don't know my suffering! You don't know sorrow. You don't know the faces that trembled in fear, even though they were innocent lies that meant cruel end to their lives. The terrifying pleading from my driver, telling me not to go over the cliff. The passengers who went with me, the men, the women, and the children. They all died with me. The negative emotions I had boiling up inside me. And my own self forced that suffering into me. All the hate, paining, and sadness, and that suffering. Yet I have to continue to live with it. So yet, how can you say that you think and pretend to feel all those terrible things I did and understand me at all?
I can tell you're in pain and in deep suffering, and I want to know the real reasoning of all this, Timothy. What made you go to such tragic lengths to do what you did? None of my brothers or sisters of the E2 class ever did this. Tell me, Timothy, what caused you to kill yourself? Tell me!
Thomas, the truth of my demise will never be known by those who are told, for I took that with me along with my victims. But all of them, except one, were unfortunate.
All but one? You're saying you had an enemy who hated you?
You see, I was only a prototype for the rest of the E-class of E2 class when we were introduced in 1913. I was used a lot and showed we could be useful and reliable. I, on the other hand, was never to have had a service life that you and the others had. But I was wrong. I was kept with the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway and got to do passenger trains and freight work. Even if I did a little work, I still considered it a big deal and worth doing.